everybody and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to 2025. How has that happened? I hope that you had a lovely break over Christmas. If you were celebrating, I hope you had a lovely time. A happy new year, all of the things. In today's video, I am going to be diving straight into the new year with a full face of new makeup. It's mostly the new bits from E.L.F. I've got a few bits from Revolution, but it's mostly E.L.F. that I'm going to be trying out today. Going to be trying it all on, giving you my first impression. If you are new here, then hello. I hope that you are doing so well. My name is Millie. I post 3 times a week on a Monday, a Wednesday and a Friday. It's all affordable, all cruelty free, all completely honest, all of the good stuff here. I would love it if you would subscribe down below for all of the 2025 goodness. And if you're not new here, hi. I hope that you are doing so well. Thank you for joining me today. So, like I say, loads of stuff from E.L.F. Today I'm going to start with this, which I feel like I've been asking for the longest time. An SPF that's an SPF 50. Fair skin, need an SPF 50, like at all times. Not necessarily in winter, I do appreciate an SPF 30 in winter, but come summer, I need an SPF 50. So I'm excited to see what this is like. It's the Sun Touchable Invisistick SPF 50 sunscreen that's in a stick. I just think that it's an incredible idea. So let's get into this one. I've got actual real life scissors. This never happens. So it says, you'll want to stick with this sunscreen. The SPF 50 formula glides on completely clear on all skin tones for a natural finish thanks to its non-greasy feel. It won't elf up your makeup. Non-comedogenic and safe for eye area. Love that. Apply evenly and generously. 50 minutes, 15, not 50, 50 minutes prior to sun exposure as the last step in your skincare routine. Reapply at least every 2 hours. I mean, it is currently the depths of winter. There is no sun, and also I'm not leaving the house today. So I'm just wanting to see how this is going to look under makeup. So that is what it looks like. That's what the stick looks like. And how do you... Oh, there we go. Stun in the sun. I love that. The positivity from E.L.F. Doesn't have any sort of scent. I like that. So it just like winds up like a deodorant stick. Let's see. So I have like all of my skincare and everything on already. Let's see how this is gonna react with that. Okay, so it doesn't really feel like anything. It's not leaving any sort of glow. It's very firm. So it is, it's not like going round like the shape of my face very well, but very sort of, I was about to say creamy, but it's not creamy, it's more jelly, like a jelly texture. Feels like nothing at all. Like I can't feel that on my face. Now, like I say, because I'm not leaving the house, I'm not gonna like take this over my eyelids just in case, because I am very sensitive on my eyes to basically anything. So that's what that looks like. Almost feels a little bit like a pore filling primer, a little bit, but not. I mean, I don't really like that sort of texture on my face, so not in like an uncomfortable or a way that I can sort of feel on my skin. I like how that feels. It's almost like a velvety matte sort of feeling on the skin, but I quite like that. Very lightweight. Very lightweight indeed. Now, if I was actually getting ready for the day and leaving my house, risking possible sun exposure today, I would wait for this to like sink in before I carried on, but I'm not leaving the house today. I mean, I might step outside to put my laundry outside because it's not actively raining, but I'm not spending any sort of time outside, so I'm just gonna carry on with the rest of my base. Now, I did get the new powder. This is the Halo Glow Powder Filter Pressed Powder, and I got this in Fair Warm. That's always the shade that I get in E.L.F products. That is so dark, so I don't know how this is gonna work. I'm just putting it out there. I don't know how this is gonna go, but I am going to use, because I was thinking that this was gonna be like a powder foundation sort of thing, and obviously I haven't tried it, so I don't know, but I'm gonna do foundation first. Just to see, for science. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of the E.L.F Soft Glam foundation on. I'm not gonna do too much, just a light little layer. We can see how this foundation, which was one of my favorites of 2024. If you didn't see my favorites video for the whole year, which I posted in December, I will leave it linked. This is one of my favorite foundations of the year. So let's see how that SPF primer will deal with this foundation. I'm just using a wet sponge to blend this out. One thing that I really like about this foundation is if I put it over something like a glowy primer, it makes the foundation more glowy. If I put it over a mattifying sort of primer, it does look more matte. I feel like this is looking more matte than what I would usually go for. So I would say that the SPF is almost acting like a smoothing, not pore filling, because I don't feel like I really saw that instant like blurring effect of like a pore filling primer, but I do feel like if you're wanting something that is more mattifying, like neutral to mattifying, rather than like neutral to glowy, rather than like the E.L.F Halo Glow, which is like hella glowy. If you're wanting something that is more mattifying, then that's a really nice primer, and this has gone over it really, really nicely. I'm a dry skin gal, so I like having quite a bit of glow, but we can assess that at the end if I want to add a bit of highlight or something like that. But I feel like that blended out really, really nicely. I like how that looks over the top of that SPF. I'm losing my words. This is the first video that I'm filming back after like nearly 2 weeks off, so I've completely forgotten what I'm doing. So I'm just going to do a bit of concealer around my eyes. I'm just going to use the Sleek In Your Tone Longwear Concealer. My favourite concealer of all time. So just going to put this around my eyes. I do have the obligatory I've eaten junk food for 2 weeks spots. I'm ignoring them. They're persistent. They're not going anywhere. And I'm just pretending they're not there at this point. There we go. So we are looking sufficiently blank. Piece of paper looking sufficiently blanked out now, apart from the spots that, like I say, I'm ignoring. So for bronzer, I've got the E.L.F one, of course, like it is mostly E.L.F, all of this stuff. The E.L.F Camo Liquid Bronze and Contour. This is number 2, Fair Light. So they had a few that I felt like would work for my skin tone. I liked the colour of this one on the swatches. Very, very fair. I like that though, because I often go overboard. So, goodness. Let's get into this. Okay, so it's got the same little like rounded like ball sort of applicator that the liquid blushes have. Let me find my brush before I start dabbing this onto my face, and let's approach with caution, because I mean maybe a little bit more than that, because the blushes are incredibly pigmented. So let's start with that and let's blend. Yes, I think the amount of caution there was correct. Oh, see, I just always go overboard, and I'm starting to learn that about myself. Okay, I love the shade of that bronzer. I was a little worried that in the tube that looked a bit cool toned, like a bit, not cool toned, but a bit grey in the tube, but actually I feel like on the skin, that's a really nice neutral for me. Like I say, I have got a warm undertone to my skin. The foundation that I used was fair warm. I am like a yellow base, so having something that is a bit more pink, I feel like in a bronzer suits my skin because then it like neutralizes out. Maybe you're looking at me and thinking, oh, that bronzer looks absolutely whack. But I think that that colour is pretty much perfect. I love that. I love that. I knew as soon as I tried the liquid blushes, which is the blush that I'm going to wear today, I knew that I would love this formula in a bronzer, and it's taken me this long to pick it up. So I'm just going to go in with a bit of Coral Crush for the blush and approach with caution because these are so pigmented. And this isn't a first impression because I already know that I love these. It's another product I included in my yearly favourites from last year. These liquid blushes, I think that they're incredible. And what did I say that one was? Coral Crush. That was my most used one from last year. And actually, since I've had all of those products out, which if you can tell, they are still all out. One of the next videos that I'm filming is finishing off the organisation of my new drawers and everything. Subscribe if you want to see that. But because I had all of my favourite products out like over Christmas and New Year, I was just using them while I was just getting ready for my everyday, you know. So I've been loving this one all over again, and it's a shade that I don't really use, like this bright sort of pinky orangey corally shade. I don't really use too much in the winter, but I think I'm getting to the stage where either just snow and be done with it, or can we just have something a little bit warmer? And I love winter, okay? I love autumn, I love winter, but these grey days where it's not snowing, it's just raining and it's drab and everyone's miserable, I'm over it. I'm over it. So I'm already like, my makeup needs to reflect spring. That's what I'm feeling. Happy with how all of that is looking. I do actually feel like the blush does have a sort of blush, not a blush lighter element to it, but I feel like there's something in there that gives a bit of a glow. And I do feel like that's adding a nice little something to the skin where I was feeling a little bit matte before. But now I feel like everything's really nicely balanced. So I've got something new for the brows. And if you don't know, E.L.F do the E.L.F Wow Brow. I use religiously. It is my favourite brow gel. So whenever E.L.F bring out new brow products, I am sold. I am trying it. And I have never tried a brow pen that I enjoy, but I have high hopes for this one. So this is the E.L.F Holy Strokes Micro Fine Brow Pen, and I got this in dark brown. Could have been a mistake, but let's just see. So it says light buildable pigment, waterproof and smudge resistant, and micro fine brush tip. So let's get her out. And let's see, it says to shake well. Feels very liquidy. Like I can hear it. Okay, let me finish reading the back of here. Okay, so it says on the back of here, this microfine brow pen is a 10. Create natural looking hair-like strokes with the precision tip. Don't stress the brow pen newbies. That is me, hello. The light buildable pigment makes it basically impossible to E.L.F up. Watch me. Politely watch me. I am so bad at doing my brows. Hold brow pen upside down for 15 seconds and shake well to saturate the tip. Flick upwards to create thin strokes and apply more pressure for deeper pigment. Replace cap after use. Okay, so if I open this. Okay, so the tip is already saturated, but I will just give it another little shake with the cap off. I'm scared. I can't lie, I'm scared because so often these products don't work for me. Like, they sort of clog up with the products that I've already got on. I always do my foundation and things before I do my brows, and then quite often the foundation sort of clogs up the tip. So let's see, it is a very, very light pigment, which makes me a bit nervous because I need help with my brows. I don't have a lot of colour in my brow hairs, so let's see how we can do here. Okay, so I have just been here for an embarrassing amount of time and I only currently have one brow on my head. I'm not sure how I feel about this. So as I was like drawing it and like flicking through the brow, I could see, and I don't know if you will be able to see, the end of the tip is sort of turning white where the pigment is obviously now on my skin and not in the brush, but then you have to stop and shake it for 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Gosh, that would be excessive, wouldn't it? Like 15 seconds with it angled down so that the pigment goes back down into the tip to then carry on. I don't necessarily love the colour. I don't necessarily feel like this is going to be a new favourite of mine. I'm glad that I tried it. I'm glad that I tried it. But like this, it's still white down at the end of this. I don't necessarily feel like this is a very good brow pen, and I have not found a brow pen that I enjoy as of yet. I've tried a few, I've not tried loads. If you have a brow pen recommendation, please leave it down below. I'm more than happy to try some. My arm's getting tired. Okay, so I feel like I have managed to build that up a little bit, but now the sort of brow hairs that I managed to get at the front are looking intense. But basically I was, and you can see it on my hand there, I was having to sort of shake it for a while and then sort of press the bristles down onto the back of my thumb to get the product out of further up the nib, to then sort of soak it back up at the end of the nib to then draw it on. And I feel like in some places I've gone a bit far and I've got like too much. I don't like that brow pen. I feel like if you had dark brows already, or brows that were like right for your face already, but you maybe just had an area that you always have to fill in with just a few little hair-like strokes, like a little bald patch, a little overplucked area, something like that. If you had just a small area that you needed to fill in rather than like what I have to do, which is create the whole brow, I feel like you would probably quite like that, because it was fairly easy to get those little hair-like strokes and they did look very natural. But for me, I just need too much help. That took me far too long for what I would usually like to do. So for me, that is just too much hard work. So I'm just going to wipe this off my hand. I'm going to get my Wow Brow and I'm going to make these brows look acceptable for me. E.L.F. Wow Brow to the rescue. Once again, I'm happy with how that looks. They are dark. They are dark and they are intense. We're just going to have to deal with that. The Wow Brow I wear in the shade Brunette, if you were at all wondering. So I'm going to try this pressed filter powder. Now, even though I think that this is going to be too dark for me. So this is the Halo Glow Powder Filter Pressed Powder. Light buildable coverage, soft focus glow, includes velour puff and mirror. Fine, I will probably use one of my own puffs, but it says this will create the soft focus effect of a social filter IRL with this pressed finishing powder. The ultra fine formula helps blur the appearance of skin, reduces shine and sets makeup for long lasting wear. Gently pressed powder into the skin using the included puff can be worn alone or used to set and refresh makeup. So it says to pair with the Halo Glow liquid filter for the ultimate airbrushed finish. That is all good and well, but the Halo Glow that I have the liquid Halo Glow that I have is too dark. It is like a summer shade for me. So I will just try this as like a setting sort of finishing powder, even though I don't necessarily feel like I need to set what I've got on today. So let's get into this. So this is what the compact looks like. It's quite chunky, like it's a fairly substantial piece of packaging. Then, ooh, okay, no, I might use the puff. It's pink. I might use that. It does have a mirror. Let's just see how we go. So like I say, I think the colour is going to be a bit off for me, but we might be able to make that work. I will just tap out the creases under my eyes because I have real life moving skin. My makeup is going to crease and that's fine. And let's see. So I don't really know how much of this I need. Let's just go with that much and I'll try and use this mirror. Let's see. That's very yellow. Okay, this is not my colour, but let's see how this goes. It's darker than my skin tone. This is fair warm, and it is darker than my skin tone. Okay. I don't think I like this powder. Now, I am very, very picky with powders. I have very, very dry skin. I'm a woman who's about to turn 31. I don't have 16-year-old skin, basically. I have 31-year-old skin. This feels heavy. This looks heavy. This looks very drying. The colour is my own fault. I got the wrong colour. But this doesn't look good. Now, pressed powders, generally, I prefer using a brush, like this sort of brush, to get a very small amount, swirl it off in the lid, get a very, very little bit of product, and then sort of disperse loosely sort of all over the skin, rather than a pressed powder, even for a finishing powder, because I do like finishing powders, to get a lighter amount and to sort of disperse it over the skin a little bit better. I feel like that puff is very thin. I feel like the puff is not applying the product incredibly well. I am going to continue trying this. I do feel like this shade will be okay for me in summer. It is just a little bit yellow, a little bit dark for me, and I have very, very light skin. I have very, very warm skin. Well, not very, very warm skin. I'm just slightly on the warmer side, but very, very fair. So a lot of things are too dark for me, even the lightest ones that they do. So I will continue trying to make this work. I think I will probably prefer it with a brush, but first impressions, it's not giving me all of the claims that it says it will. So that is how I feel about that. Let me put the poof back in there. Yeah, that's a shame. I was looking forward, I thought that was going to be good because it's E.L.F. and a lot of E.L.F. products are good, but not sure on that one. So for the eyeballs, I've got two products from Revolution, and I was very, very excited about these because if you don't know, I have been trying to find a burgundy mascara, or like a deep reddy brown mascara, for the longest time, and Revolution brought this one out, which is the Big Lash in Burgundy. So it's the Burgundy Volume Mascara. Let me get into this to see what the wand is like, but I also got this duochrome eyeliner, and this is in the shade Twisted Galaxy Purple. I mean, I didn't plan my nails to match this eyeliner, but there we are. We are matching, it's fine. So this is what the packaging looks like. She fancy, she's shiny. Ooh, that colour looks good. Oh, that is creamy. Okay, I love that. I love that. I mean, I love anything that's like duochromy, purple, liner sort of a moment. I'm thinking I might just do like a smudgy thing rather than anything too sharp. And before we do that, I do just want to see what the wand looks like on this mascara, because me and a volumizing mascara, we are like this. So let's see what this is like. Okay, so it's a plastic bristle, very, very spiky. Okay, I can be on board with that. So let me zoom you in and we can try and do something with these if I don't drop it on the floor. Okay, so like I say, I'm just going to try and like squiggle this along the lash line and see how we go. Just see how we go. It's very creamy. Don't know why I'm trying to do it with my eye open. Very, very creamy. Let's see how like movable it is. So I'm just going to sort of put it in the area that I approximately want it to be, like so. And then I'm taking quite a dense brush. I'll just wiggle over like the top edge to sort of smudge it out a little bit. See how that goes. I do see that creasing in the concealer through the eye socket. I will deal with that in just one moment. Oh, it's soft. It's a soft little bit of colour. I feel like that has blended away a bit of the duochrome effect. I wonder how this would look just all over the lid. Should we try that? Yeah. Why not? I already need to blend out the creases in my eyelid, and actually I don't feel like this is too dark for me to wear just all over the lid, so same thing, tapping over the edge with more of a dense brush. It's nice. It's not blowing me away. I will put it under the eye as well. Okay, so a couple of points. I feel like I like how it looks. It's obviously, it's like quite a dark sort of an effect, but I did do a few layers. So I did one layer and then I like really tapped it out, and then I did a second layer and I was more like concentrated right on the lid, and I'm just tapping over the top edge. Not that I feel like I necessarily need it, but just to make like double sure. I also put it in the waterline. I feel like it's better in the waterline than it is just like all over the lid how I was using it originally. It's not the most incredible duochromy shift. Like, if you have seen my channel before, then you will know I love the pastel roses, Cosmic Beauty. Like, so many indie brands are getting duochromes and multichromes so right that I feel like the high street just absolutely cannot even compare, and this doesn't. I would almost say, instead of calling this a duochrome, if they called this a metallic finish, I would be like, absolutely, it's a beautiful metallic finish. I'm not necessarily getting too much of that shift, a little bit, but more in like a smooth sort of metallic-y sort of a way, rather than something that is what I would consider, as an indie brand user, what I would consider more of like a metallic finish. It's working. It's absolutely working. It looks nice. I think I prefer it in the waterline, and I think that's how I will use it. And the next comment that I wanted to make about it is because it is so creamy, and it really is very soft and creamy, which of course is a good thing for doing something like this and like blending it out. But I feel like I have just used loads of that. Like, I don't know where the mechanism was to begin with. I will have to look back and potentially put a comment on screen now about how much of this I've used, but if I show you that now, that's where the pencil is up to. So there's only like an inch of product left, but if I just use it in the waterline, obviously that's using a lot less. So let's see how this metallic purple eye, which I am just going to take a fluffy brush and blend over that top edge. Let's see how this looks with a burgundy mascara on. Why not? We're just pushing the boat out. It's 2025, anything goes. So this is the Burgundy Volume Mascara. I'm excited. I'm very, very excited. So let's see, how burgundy is this gonna look on the first swipe? And I do like a volumizing, thickening, dramatic mascara moment, so I am looking for volume. I am looking for that, so let's see what sort of volume we can get with this. Okay, so this side is with 2 coats and on the bottom lashes, and this side is 1 coat and also on the bottom lashes. I don't necessarily feel like it's incredibly volumizing. I'm not mad at it, but it's not, I wouldn't say that this is a volumizing mascara, basically. It's just a little bit lengthening, a little bit volumizing, a little bit, I was about to say a little bit thickening, but it's really not. Like it's curling. I feel like my lashes look really nice and curled. I like the colour. I do like the colour. I don't feel like you can necessarily see the colour all that much because obviously I've got a lot of purple on my eyeballs. But I feel like if I was doing something, just a wash of bronzer through the crease sort of thing with a burgundy mascara, that would be a really, really nice option. And then with like a bold lip. But where this I feel like is looking still quite natural, or natural for me and my preferences, this is the sort of thing that I would do with a bold lip. Like this amount of colour, little sprinkle of colour on the eye, and then a bold lip, like a burgundy lip. That's the sort of thing that I would do. So let me just even myself up. I don't think I actually have any new lip products, so I'll figure something out and then we can zoom out and I'll be done. Okay, so since we are going like full E.L.F today, I just put a little bit of the E.L.F Creamy Glide Lip Liner in Truth or Bare, just all over the lip, and I'm calling it a day. I will also say I did try to just wipe that swatch of that pencil off with my, I just got some micellar water and I tried to wipe this off and it's like, it's not budging. So pray for my eyeballs, because how am I going to get this off? I've scribbled it all over my eye sockets. Let's see how that goes, but let's recap. What do I think of everything? Let's recap while I sort my hair out. So the Suntouchable Invisi-Stick, the SPF 50 stick, I really, really like that. I love that it's an SPF 50. That felt lovely going on. The foundation and everything went over the top of it beautifully. I really, really like that. I'm still hoping and praying that they will bring out the Suntouchable Glow Liquid SPF that they brought out as an SPF 30. I still want them to bring that out as an SPF 55. Please, E.L.F. I would absolutely love that, but this will certainly get me through a little bit of the summer. I really, really like that. Then the bronzer, also really, really like that. Like I say, I got the shade Fair Light. Beautiful shade. Really, really love that. Can't believe it's taken me so long to pick that up. And then we went off the rails a little bit. The brush pen, not the biggest fan of, but I appreciate that that will be for somebody if you just need to fill a little area in, if you have beautiful luscious brows and you just have a little bald patch, something like that, that you just want to fill in with a few little lines, that will absolutely work for you. But for a full-on brow construction, which is what I need, it doesn't make sense to have a product like that. The powder, I'm gonna see how I feel about that applying with a brush. I'm going to completely hold judgment on that currently, but the colour, I would say that this is more light warm rather than fair warm, because it is darker than my skin tone and it's the lightest warm shade that they do. So that is that. Like, it doesn't match with, I mean, you can see there, it doesn't match with the fair warm foundation that they brought out. It's very, very much darker than that, so I will have to play around with that, see how I can make that work. The pencil, the duochrome, how have I lost it already? The duochrome eyeliner, Twisted Galaxy Purple. This for a waterline, if I'm doing a purple smoky eye, beautiful, but not necessarily to do the purple smoky eye. I don't feel like it is what I would consider a duochrome. It is more of just like a smooth metallic sort of finish, which is beautiful and I like it. It's just not necessarily duochrome. So I like it, but it's not necessarily what I was thinking it was going to be. Duochromes are hard to do on on like drugstore prices. It's hard to do. I wasn't necessarily expecting it to be a duochrome liner, but again, I am hoping and praying that we get duochrome liners from indie brands this year. I need to try the Glisten Cosmetics ones because I think that they will absolutely tickle my pickle. And then the mascara, again, I'm going to hold judgment on that because I don't feel like this is necessarily the eye look that I would wear a burgundy mascara with, but it's not necessarily volumizing. I would say that this is just, it's just a mascara. Like, it's not anything dramatically lengthening, dramatically volumizing. It's just a nice mascara. I do like the colour of it. In fact, if I dab this on the back of my hand, yeah, you can see the colour there. You can see the colour that that's going to be. It is a really nice, like, red based brown. It is a burgundy. I do like the colour of it. I will keep you informed as to how that lasts throughout the day. If there's any sort of smudging, I am not on board, but I'm excited that we've got at least one option that is a burgundy mascara. So I would love to know, have you tried any of these products as well? What do you think of them? If you want to hear like follow-up thoughts, I do a monthly recap at the end of the month where I go over everything that I've tried in the month. There's gonna be new makeup coming this month. I can feel it in my waters, but I'm excited to try them all and then give you a recap at the end of the month. So if you want to see that, again, subscribe. That will be coming at the end of the month / the first video that I will post in February. That's usually how I do it. So if you want to see thoughts after I've had more time to play with all of these products, that will be coming, but I will continue playing with all of these. None of them were so bad that I feel like, I mean, apart from the brow pencil, none of them were so bad that I feel like I wouldn't ever use them again. So overall positive. I like how my makeup has turned out. So that's something. I hope you've had a fantastic, fantastic day so far. Thank you for spending a little bit of it with me. And until next time, thank you ever so much for watching. Bye.